Robert Trujillo was born in Santa Monica, California on 23 October 1964. He is of Mexican and Native American descent. He grew up in Culver City, California, where his father was a teacher at Culver City High School. Trujillo gained an interest in music during his childhood. His mother was a huge fan of soul music, particularly musicians like Marvin Gaye, James Brown and Sly and the Family Stone. Trujillo stated that Jaco Pastorius was my hero growing up, and that the iconic jazz bassist changed his view of what the instrument could play. Hearing him was like hearing Eddie Van Halen doing Eruption for the first time. You thought, what instrument is that? I loved jazz fusion and branched out from there. But Jaco had an edge that far exceeded his jazz persona. He was funk, he was rock and he was soul, and his whole attitude was punk. He began playing in a lot of backyard party bands and playing music by Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Rush and Led Zeppelin. He went to jazz school when he was 19 with the intention of becoming a studio musician, but he maintained his passion for rock and metal. Trujillo gained prominence when he replaced Bob Heathcote as the bassist for California crossover thrash band Suicidal Tendencies. Initially billed as Stymee on the 1989 album Controlled by Hatred Feel Like Shit Déjà Vu, Trujillo remained in the band until the mid-1990s. Concurrent to his work with Suicidal Tendencies, Trujillo is a member of the band's side project named Infectious Grooves along with vocalist Mike Muir. Trujillo was a member of Ozzy Osbourne's band for a number of years starting in the late 1990s. In contrast to his earlier jazz and funk-inspired playing, Osbourne's band was more straightforward to hard rock and metal, and Trujillo co-wrote several songs on the Down to Earth album. He was the subject of controversy for re-recording Bob Daisley's bass tracks for reissued versions of Osbourne's first two solo albums, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, after Daisley claimed that he was not paid proper royalties. During this time, Trujillo formed an experimental supergroup named Mass Mental with then dub war singer Benji Webbe, whose ragga punk metal outfit had just disbanded. The band released one studio album in Japan and one live album of their performance in Tokyo before disbanding. Zakk Wylde, a personal friend and bandmate from the Ozzy days, recruited him to play with Black Label Society for a few shows. Trujillo joined Metallica on February 2003, 2 years after Jason Newsted resigned. He had previously met and befriended his future bandmates when Suicidal Tendencies supported Metallica during the Nowhere Else to Roam tour in 1993, and again during the Shit Hits the Sheds tour 1 year later. Trujillo received $1 million from the band as an advance for joining Metallica. His audition and hiring as well as his $1 million payment offer appeared in the documentary film Metallica: Some Kind of Monster. As the current bassist for Metallica, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside all current members of the band, as well as previous bassists Jason Newsted and Cliff Burton. In 2012, Trujillo produced a documentary about jazz bassist Jaco Pastorius titled Jaco, directed by Stephen Kijek and Paul Marchand. The film was named Official Film of Record Store Day 2014 and was released in November 2014.